Hey guys, this is Jeff, aka Quiet Horn, quiethorn.com, and I have a pretty quick trombone extended technique video today. Again, extended techniques being those which are uncommon or unconventional on your instrument. And this one's not too much of an extended technique, I guess. Basically, it's half valve. So if you have a trombone with a trigger, it can be any kind of trigger, it can be a rotary valve or I guess it's called an axial flow valve. It was called a Thayer valve when I bought it. But anything with a trigger, or if you play bass trombone, you're lucky because chances are you have two triggers if you have that kind of bass trombone, which most of them are. Half valve is just what it sounds like. If you're familiar with this technique on the way trumpet players do it, they do it most common. Of course, they have three valves, and so they have a lot more options for which notes will sound good when half valved and for how to do it. On trombone with the half valve, if you have a single trigger, at least I've never explored it with a bass trombone with two triggers, but with a single trigger, at least it tends to be good around the anywhere between like the third to fifth partial. So the best note or the best place for it I've always found is kind of on a middle C. So if you have just your regular middle C, right? If you half valve it, and you have to kind of find that sweet spot on your valve where you're not pushed down all the way, but you're kind of gonna get up there a little closer. But if that's open, that's all the way down. It's kind of in the middle-ish there, but it takes some experimentation to get it to where you can just find it on demand. But anyway, like a half valve C might sound kind of. And you can hear I was kind of doing the half valve off and on and off and on real briefly. Right. So it makes that sound. It's very similar to the sound you would get on a trumpet, of course, with just an octave lower, being that we're playing trombone. And again, they have a lot more options for where they could do it and different effects with it and that kind of thing. But the basic principle works the same. It tends to be that when you play a half valve, at least on that range, that's the what is that? I have to count my partials. 1, 2. That's the fifth partial, right? The fifth partial C. The note will tend to be a little sharp, so you actually have to move the slide out a little bit. That's why I don't know if you can see that every time I went back to a normal tone, I kind of just inched my slide up a little bit. I'll try and sit up a little better. So. Otherwise, it's just I don't know. It's a little bit too sharp and it sounds out of tune. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You can use it if you have songs that are in that range and where it seems appropriate and that kind of thing. If you kind of overblow the note or put a little more air behind it, you get a different kind of sound. Right, you get a very breathy sound, but you can bend the note and that kind of thing. Anyway, that's pretty much it. You can just experiment with it on different parts of the horn. Once you get above, I think really that fifth partial D, I think what happens is the notes between their trigger version and their open version get too close together, and you don't get whatever it is, the dissonance between those two notes occurring at the same time that gives you that kind of effect. So I mean, if you play it on an F, there's really no effect because sixth partial F is the same as, what partial would that be with the trigger? Eighth partial F with the trigger down, so there's no difference. There's not really no way to do anything with that. Anyway, give it a shot. It's a useful technique, and it's something you can mess around with and get some interesting sounds out of. Anyway, thank you for watching.